गुड मर्निङ साथी हो। मैले नि कतिवटा भिडियो क्लिपहरू खिचेर ल्याएको छु, फेसबुकमा पनि हालेँ। तर पनि मलाई यो डिलिट गर्न मन नलागेर म यो युट्युबमा पनि हाल्न चाहन्छु। यो हामी गएको कोलोराडो यतापट्टि चाहिँ अमेरिका हो। यो नाइगरा फल्स हो हेर्नुहोस्, यतापट्टि चाहिँ अमेरिका। अब यही फेरि हामी यतापट्टि गयौँ भने चाहिँ यो चाहिँ क्यानाडा। अनि क्यानाडाकोहरूले उनीहरूलाई अहिले पनि ब्लू कलरको हामी यताकोहरूलाई अमेरिकाकाहरूलाई अनि उताकोहरूले चाहिँ सायद पिङ्क कलरको ज्याकेट दिन्छ। त्यसरी छुट्याएको रहेछ अमेरिका र क्यानाडाकोलाई। आफ्नो फोटो त खिच्नै मन लागेन, यस्तो ब्युटिफुल देखेपछि। हेर्दा चासै लाग्यो। यति आनन्दको हाम्रो यात्रा थियो। हामीले बाटोमा पनि यो 15 दिनको यात्रा हाम्रो मङ्गलबारदेखिको लिएर दुईवटा हप्ता मङ्गलबार पुगेपछि 2 तारिक उनीहरूको घर आयो है। अनि 18 तारिक घरबाट निस्किएर र 5 दिनका हामी 4 दिनका हामी सबैको आफ्नै आफ्नै आइटिनेरीहरू थियो। अनि हामीले पनि जानी नजानी आफ्नो आइटिनेरी बनाएका थियौँ, जसमा एउटा प्रमुख चाहिँ थियो नाइगरा फल्स। र नाइगरा फल्स सँगसँगै हामीले फेरि मेरील्यान्ड गएर न्यू जर्सीमा अक्षरधाम पनि हेऱ्यौँ। बृहत थियो होइन, राम्रो सुन्दर थियो। त्यसरी नै हामी फेरि गयौँ कोलोराडोदेखि हामी डिसीतिर लाग्यौँ, मेरील्यान्डतिर गयौँ। अनि फेरि भएन बोस्टन गयौँ। बोस्टनमा पनि हार्वर्ड युनिभर्सिटी है, हार्वर्डको स्ट्याचुमा हात राखेर उसको पाउ परेर सलाम पनि गऱ्यौँ। उहाँले जुन चाहिँ युनिभर्सिटी बनाउनु भएको आजसम्म यहाँको नानीहरूको निम्ति विश्वकै प्रसिद्ध युनिभर्सिटी हो। त्यहाँको लाइब्रेरी गयौँ होइन। अनि गाउँहरू पनि हेऱ्यौँ, अमेरिकाको गाउँहरू कस्तो रहेछ भने साँच्चै हामीले सिक्नुपर्ने कुरो छ अमेरिकाबाट, डिसिप्लिन अनि प्रकृतिलाई बचाउने। हामी जब रकी माउन्टेनतिर गयौँ, प्रकृतिलाई चलाउन दिएको छैन, त्यहाँ चढ्न पनि पाइँदैन, छुन पनि पाइँदैन। तर सुन्दरता हेर्नको निम्ति दूरीबाट नै अवलोकन गर्न सकिन्छ, त्यस्तो व्यवस्था।
This is the Hudson River, ladies and gentlemen. If you look beside us, to the right, you got the George Washington Bridge. Check it out. Connects the Garden State of New Jersey with Washington Heights. So right behind it, 34th Street is home to Macy's. You got the New Yorker Hotel where Nikola Tesla passed away, and then you got Madison Square Garden Arena, home to the New York Rangers, the New York Knicks, and the New York Liberty all-female basketball team. And directly underneath Madison Square Garden Arena is Pennsylvania Station. All that is located on 34th Street, including the Hudson Yards. If you're facing left right now at Manhattan, you will see a structure that resembles an upside-down honeycomb. You see it? That's called the vessel, and it was designed by a British artist. You can walk up to the top of the vessel. Nothing more important than, hey, want to share with us? Alright, so do me a favor. Let me do my job. Keep your voice down. Thank you so much. Alright, so you can walk all the way to the top of the structure, and you will overlook the High Line was once an L line before the subway system opened up in 1904. New Yorkers commuted via L lines. These were trains that ran above ground. They never ever went underneath like the subways do now. And so these L lines were located all along First Avenue, Third Avenue, Sixth Avenue, Madison Avenue. Now, after the subway system opened up, the High Line became obsolete. Some of these, L lines became obsolete. Some of these L lines became condemned, tore down, demolished. However, a few of them were in such good shape that New York City restored them, repaired them, and converted them into public parks. They produce a lot of organic life along these tracks, which you can walk. You can access all the way from 34th Street down to Washington Street. Now, between 34th Street and Washington Street, there's several exit and entrance points which you can access. They have vendors which sell food along the way, and it gives you an overlook of the inner city streets, which is really cool, and it's free. It's something you and your family can do, particularly now during the late spring season. You will see a lot of trees blossoming. From that point of view, it's just marvelous. It's called the High Line. So I suggest you walk it or walk a portion of it, just so you can experience what I'm talking about. Now, if you keep facing left, you're looking at a cluster of skyscrapers. It's just tall buildings everywhere. And that's because underneath of it all is solid rock. The island of Manhattan is blessed with a very solid rock. Now, not everywhere on Manhattan you will find the solid rock. There are several locations within the island of Manhattan where you don't find that much solidity of rock. For example, Lower Manhattan, you don't find much of the solid rock. And this rock has a very funny name. The name of this rock is Manhattan Schist. Yeah, I know. Manhattan Schist. Everybody, please repeat after me. Manhattan Schist. Wow, you guys got it in the first shot. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay, so if you go to Central Park, you go to if you go to Fort Bryant Park and you walk inside these parks, you will immediately see these rocks sticking out of the ground. You can touch them, just don't smell them. But these rocks are jagged and they're very strong. That is the foundation of Manhattan, bedrock of Manhattan. And it's mostly located within Lower Manhattan, where you see more skyscrapers. However, the further north you travel, you will notice there aren't that many skyscrapers as you will find within several portions of it. Don't be fooled by that. There are several buildings that are not on solid rock. There's some buildings that are landfill. Begins at freshwater lake all the way up north, and it flows all the way down to the ocean. However, that doesn't mean that it's only one current. There are a lot of water that you just can't see. However, if you are aware of this fact, and you have a trained eye, and you know that there are separate currents flowing within this body, and that played a key role, a key factor on January. I was fresh out of LaGuardia Airport, Airbus flight 1549, carrying approximately 155 passengers and 5 crew members. Immediately take off from the 1549. Encountered a flock of Canadian geese. Shout out to Canada. And these geese accidentally crashed and burned into one of the engines of Airbus Flight 1549. Within the friendly skies, Airbus Flight 1549 began to stall within the air immediately after takeoff. And so, the world famous pilot, Tom Hanks, bravo. the world famous pilot, Sully. He knew what to do because he had prior knowledge of the Hudson River because he likes to read during his time off. And he read a book about the Hudson River where he learned that the waters closest to Manhattan are less treacherous as opposed to the waters closest to New Jersey where they're a bit more vigorous. And so he calculated within his pilot brain within a matter of seconds where to land Airbus Flight 1549, and it was right around Times Square, by the way. And so as the plane lands, the nearby boats noticed what was going on. They all stopped what they were doing. They diverted their routes towards the plane. As the plane is taking in the water, the passengers and crew members were scrambled out of the seats. People ended up within the prison. The NYPD. No one died on that very crazy evening of January 15th, 2009, with the exception of a few Canadian birds, right? Oh, well. Now, this is where it gets better. The NYPD conducts an investigation after they retrieve the plane out of the... Hey, you gotta take the plane out the river, right? So that was something to see on the news, right? So they haul this thing out the Hudson River. They conduct their criminal investigation because they had treated it as a crime scene, and they concluded that the reason why like 1549 went down was because a flock of Canadians accidentally flew into one of the engines of Airbus Flight 1549, and that is known to the world as the miracle on the Hudson. And it gets better. One day, I'm giving a tour. One day I'm giving a tour, right, in Times Square on a double-decker bus. And same story I'm getting now. And the lady raised her hand. She said, "Young man, you forgot one important detail." I said, "Yeah, what's that?" It all happened really fast. And I said, "How would you know?" She said, "Because we were on the plane." And it turns out I was giving a tour to some of the surviving passengers of Airbus Flight 1549. My name is Jose de la Cruz. I'm a native New Yorker. I've been a sightseeing guide for 30 years, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully you will learn a little bit today. I've got a lot to say, and on with the show. Now this is where it gets a little funny. Everybody, look to your right. Look to your right. Look to your right. Look to your right. The right of the boat. Over in New Jersey. Look in the right. You see that white head? You see that huge white head? Enormous white head. You can't miss it. Okay. Alright. We can all agree it's a female, right? Cool. Who said no? Oh man, don't start that. Please. I'm about to just go scuba diving right now. You start that with me. So, what is she doing? She's pressing her index finger to her lips and her eyes are closed. As a suggestion, she wants to rest, to please be quiet. Which direction is she facing? Manhattan. New York City is known as the city that doesn't sleep. She wants to sleep. That's why that's a little instinct between New Jersey and New York. Just Google water spirit. Now enough of New Jersey, to New York too. You heard? Alright, so we just went over the Holland Tunnel. There are a lot of tunnels that you have no idea they exist, but they're there. Lincoln Tunnel, Holland Tunnel, Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, New Jersey Traffic Train Tunnel. You got the MTA Transit Train Tunnel. You got the tunnels from Penn Station. The military tunnels, and we have no idea where they are, but they exist. So right now, we just went over the tunnel. Now if you look to your left, right behind you, you have a beautiful view of the Midtown Manhattan skyline with this Empire State. You got the Chrysler Building, you got the Con Edison Building, and the New York. Look behind your left. That's a great whole opportunity our and skyline. Now, directly on our community, and you also have Union Square Park, where the rules of baseball were established by the Knickerbocker Club. Knickerbocker, Fairfax, and Baltimore, and that happens to be the name of our NBA New York
Hi.
team. The New York Knicks, as short for Knicker.
जुन चाहिँ आज मलाई याद भइरहेको छ अनि यात्रा गर्दाखेरि अब त्यो एयरपोर्टमा पनि कति समस्याहरू हुन्छ हामी मसिनमा हालेर हाम्रो टिकटहरू निकाल्न सक्दैनौँ ब्याग चेकिङ गर्न जान्दैनौँ हो कि हामी कम्प्युटर इलिटरेट छौँ अब त्यस्तो स्थितिमा अब हामीले गऱ्यौँ त्यो एउटा सक्सेस हाम्रो निम्ति हामी यो एजमा आएर पनि ती कामहरू पनि गरेर हामी घुमेर आयौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ आफैलाई स्मार्ट पनि लागिरहेको छ आनन्द पनि लागिरहेको छ अनि यो कुराहरू तपाईँहरूलाई सुनाउँदा पनि मलाई आनन्द लागेको छ र तपाईँहरू पनि जानुभयो भने केही सजेसन चाहियो भने अब चाहिँ म सजेसन दिन सक्छु र पहिला आफू नगइकन आफूले नभुक्तिकन त कुनै सजेसन पनि दिन सकिँदैन होइन अरूले हेरेको र आफ्नो आँखाले हेरेकोमा धेरै फरक हुन्छ त्यस कारणले गर्दा तपाईँहरू सबैलाई यो कुरोहरू मैले सुनाएँ र तपाईँहरूले यो भिडियो हेरेर तपाईँहरूलाई पनि राम्रो लाग्नेछ हुन त मैले युट्युबमा हाल्न हो भने हराइजेन्टल फोटो भिडियो खिच्नु पर्थ्यो तर यो फेसबुकको लागि भर्टिकल खिचेको छु तरै पनि तपाईँहरूको निम्ति यो मनोरञ्जन